All right, what is going on, everybody? My name is Peter Del Tondo, and I am your host for this week for the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. We're going to be continuing on with a couple of challenges that we had rolling. Whoops, let's lower that sound volume. My bad there. That is really loud. Continuing on with a couple of challenges that we had going on last week. And so we've got a couple that are going to make a little bit of a reappearance, and we're going to expand on some of the things that we've known and learned. And then we've got a whole bunch of new challenges as well. So once again, if you are new to the daily creative challenges, I'll show you in a second where you can hop on over and download the files, follow along. But these are one day at a time challenges, so don't worry about an overwhelming amount of stuff to consume or get caught up on. You can just dive in today, dive in tomorrow, and be ready to go. So let's take a quick look at chat. We've got a lot of folks. We've got Joe and Aaron and Josh. I see, I'm going to assume Cornell is here. Laura, Laura, who's been doing some amazing challenges. I've seen you tagging me on Twitter with those. The space one that you did from Friday looks fantastic. I'm excited. I'll do that on the stream later tonight. I generally will stream every evening, going over and doing reviews of the challenges that everybody is creating. I love doing that live rather than just in chat. So make sure you follow me on my Behance. I'll show you where to go for that as well, and you'll get notified. I'll be streaming on my personal Behance, not on the main Adobe Behance channel like we are now. So with that, we've got a ton of people. There's so many people in chat today. This is awesome. I love seeing all the activity. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, and let us know, what are you working on this week? What kind of challenges are you maybe facing with your projects at work? What are you looking to tackle? It'd be fun to see. All right, so if you are new, first of all, come on over here and head on over to behance.net/challenge/XD. And every morning they're going to release the challenge files for you. So you come down here, you click on Get Started, and this is going to be how you download that XD file. It'll have the prompt and anything else that you need in there to get going. And if you want to jump back in and rewatch any of the past videos, I always find that really helpful when I follow along with these, that if something was taught or discussed and I need a little refresher on it, I can always go back through these links and watch that video again. So really, really cool when you have that and need it. And then also, if you have not yet joined the XD Discord, that's the other thing that you're going to really want to do. So if you come on over here, click the community chat, and that should take you into, where is Discord? Here we go, into Discord. And over here, you will see all of the channels that are going on. It's a really, really busy Discord. I want to say there's like 10,000 members here. There's 1,500 people online right now. And so what you're going to want to do is every day come on over here to the current challenge channel. And in here, you'll be able to post your project. So either upload that to Behance, drop in a movie file, which I would really recommend, since a lot of the challenges that we have been working on, it's really helpful to see the video and the prototype and the animation as you work on it. And that's what allows me to know that you understood and got the mechanics of that day's lesson. So try to upload that, or upload the video into your Behance project as well, and it'll be really great to see that. But as you can see here, lots of great stuff. You'll see Elise, we've got Joss, Chris, and other mentors who all of us are in there to help you all succeed and to work on these projects together. So check out that channel. Check out a bunch of the other channels as well. There's a lot of great stuff in there too. All right. So let's jump in and let's take a look at today's challenge. All right. So today we're going to be focusing on interactions and different things that we can do. So we've already done a little bit of auto animate, and we're ready to take it to that next level of what are some cool and interesting interactions that we can do and build on the foundational learnings that we might have gone over last week. Now, don't worry, just because you might have missed last week, this is still pretty simple and straightforward. So it's nothing that's going to be overwhelming. If you missed a previous lesson, I'm going to go over all the mechanics and basics of this as well. Also, I hope I sound good. I had to clean out my office this weekend and the whole house as we're getting ready to move. And so I'm hearing the echo in this room now as I talk because there's nothing else in here. So it's just literally a sound chamber. So I hope it still sounds all right for you guys. So today we are going to be working on building out a baby name generator, or kind of like helping you pick a baby name. I know my wife and I have used an app like this in the past. I think actually through all three of our kids, we found this one app, and it's kind of like a Tinder style swipe. You know, left or right for whether or not you like names, and then the names that you both like, it puts in a list together, or names separately in your own separate list. And it was just a cool way to easily sit down on the couch, and as we're watching a movie or TV show at the end of the night together, we could just kind of slowly flip through there as well and figure out some names that we like for our kids. And I think it worked for one or two of them. The other one we came up with on our own. So anyways, some really, really cool stuff, and show you guys how to do that here today in XD. As always, a little point system here. There's some things, little details, but here, something I want to point out in this challenge in particular is to use real copy. And I'm going to show you the difference of how that looks if you use something real, or if you just throw in some lorem ipsum filler text. It makes a big, big difference, and big impact. So I'm going to really encourage you to do that, and then do some things like play around with different effects in the transitions and see what you like and what works best for you. So there's a lot of cool stuff in here. And Zach, good to see you, man. Zach Wilkinson. I hope you're doing well, brother. And no, I'm not leaving due to the fires. I'm Southern California, but I'm moving next week out of state. So lots of stuff. It's been super busy. All right, so over here, just to take a look at a couple of different items and things that I saw and liked, as we get in here, and we've got this Tinder, again, kind of style freebie here. We've got another animation here of just this drag off left and right, showing that quick animation of whether or not you like something. And then same thing down here, just how we see that prototype working, and lots of different ways to kind of tackle this potential solution. But let's kind of jump in and see what we come up with. So I've got a couple of things already built out, and I'm just going to move them a little bit more into view at the moment. And so there's a few things that I'm going to want to do here. One, again, I always like to grab the iOS UI kit and pull in my status bar. I think that's really, really helpful. And we could go grab one for the home indicator later. I'm not as worried about that. But a couple things here. So what I want to do is I want to create these cards, and I want to set it up so that if I swipe left or I swipe right, different interactions are going to happen. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to do and kind of set up ahead of time. So for one, I might set something up where I'm going to, whoops, I can actually do that. I want to, oops, there's two of those. I want to set something up where I have both this heart and this X. Kind of, you need to plan ahead. So where I'm going with this is that later on in my transitions, I'm going to want to have the X pop up or the heart pop up. But in order to do that, I need to have it on the screen and kind of hidden off the bat. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change actually these to white. I'm going to increase this shadow. Let's do a Y of say 8, and I'm going to blur this out a good bit more. And yeah, that works for the moment. Okay, so I'm going to bring these in. I'm going to center these up, and I'm going to move this off to the side so that I have that available and ready for later. And then what I want to do is I'm going to move this right here into more or less the center of my screen for the time being. I can figure out that final placement later. And then I'm just going to easily come in, and I'm going to set this opacity down to 0 for both of these objects. So now that I have those in the background, I can start playing around with the other interactions. I might want to change which items are ahead or in front or behind. But for the moment, I just need to make sure that they're there. So now what I want to do is I want to set up, let's say, the first card, or I even want to get in here. Let's do a hamburger icon, just so I've got some kind of grounding in my application. We'll go menu, and let's pull something like this for the moment is fine. And we'll move this over here. And there's a lot of different ways I could do this. I could do this up at the top, or maybe what I could do is I can do some kind of navigation down below. Maybe I want to do something where, and it can stay white, but maybe I want that to, let's see, arrange, send it back. I just want this to be kind of grounded here at the bottom. I'm going to throw a little border on it just so I can see it at the moment. And maybe this is where, again, my home indicator might be something like this. Bring that down a little bit. And then in here, maybe I want to add some other things like, let's do favorites, or in this case, we've got hearts. So maybe a nice little folder collection of hearts. I kind of like that. And then let's see, maybe an avatar, which I can do that separately. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Maybe a list view. And I'll show why I want to do that in a second. Let's maybe do something like this at the moment. Maybe we'd fill those in actually. Let's use a glyph style. And the plugin that I'm using here, sorry, this is actually let's just do home for now. This is a plugin that is called Nucleo, and this organizes and sorts all of your icon libraries and whatnot. It's really, really cool. And what's neat about this is that you can type in something like home or menu or whatnot, and it goes and finds those items for you. So it's really, really cool. And then I want to do something, let's say people. So this is perfect. There should be one here. So this could be like the couple, and perfect. Oops. All right, so I will space these out later. I'm also going to make all these a bit larger. I'm going to eyeball this at the moment, which is driving me bonkers. But for the moment, we'll roll with it. All right. And I know in the past I've showed my recommendation for how to like properly space stuff out. We'll go over that maybe another time. But for the moment, that works. We've got our navigation, and you know what? Let's just add like a little 1 pixel bar above that, and we could do something subtle right there. Perfect. And then let's give it some color. We were using a little bit of a blue over here. I'm kind of digging that for the active state, and then maybe we'll bring these down just a scotch. And for the moment, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to do it through an opacity. All right, so we've got that. Now what I want to do is I want to bring over these cards. And so I'm going to do this kind of one at a time, but I'm going to bring over a name here, and we'll just put something up top. Let's do popular names. Okay. And I'm gonna create a little menu up top. Let's change this into the same type. That is not the same. Sego. Do this the old-fashioned way. Okay, so now we've got that. Let's ground that with a bit of a title. And so now we know we're in the category of popular names. And I'm gonna come in and let's make this a little bit longer. I'm gonna bring these names down. All right, so I've now got my card here. So this is perfect. I've got my popular names. I can start here. We've got Tracy. I'm going to center this up. And I'm going to move this up. All right, great. So now what I want to do is I want to create that transition into the next screen here. So I want to show that either I like or I dislike this particular name. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here And now let's switch names, and I'm going to change this to, so if we come over here, this is going to be, I'm going to name this, and we'll call this Tracy card. And over here, actually, let's keep that. I'm going to copy that, and we notice this is called Tracy card as well. And so we need to have the things named consistently for auto animate to be able to recognize and know what items are going to move accordingly depending on how those items adjust. So say I'm going to swipe to the right, I'm going to need to do a couple of different things. So I'm going to add another card over here, and I'm going to call this one, actually, let's keep that the same. Let's see, Tracy card. No, we're going to duplicate this one, and I'm going to go Amelia. And I'm just going to change these out real quick, so that way there's no possibility it's going to mess up. Just call that second, third, and name is Amelia. All right, so now I'm going to hide this Amelia card for a second. And with Tracy, I'm going to actually move this over and off of the screen. And I'm going to, actually, let's group that. Let's bring Amelia back. All right, so now we're going to group these two. Okay. And now Amelia can be behind Tracy, so I'm going to move that. And Tracy, I want to move off the screen, and I'm going to angle this a little bit. And I'm going to maybe bring it down a scotch. Okay, so we've now got that in there. And what that's going to create is that interaction that as I slide it over, that it's going to come in and move forward. And there's a couple other things that I'm going to do with that as well. I may come in here and I may take, let's see, our heart and cancel. And we're going to move that up, I believe. Let's move that up here. And I'm going to leave that invisible. I'm going to do the same thing here as well. Heart and cancel. And I'm going to move that up to the top. Now, the difference is that I'm now going to have the heart come in and be in full view and show that interaction here. So what that's going to do then is it's going to show that we swipe right, we like it, and then we're going to move on. And then we're going to go into the next card, and we can delete Tracy. We're going to have this here. We're going to have that heart go back away. And then we're going to kind of start the process over so that we can go through a negative interaction. So now what I want to do is I want to say I don't like the name Amelia. So I'm going to add this one over one more time. And before I do, I'm going to swap out this text. Because again, if you have the wrong text in there, it's going to feel as though it's not as realistic. So we want things to be as realistic as possible. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to delete Tracy. I'm going to move the heart down to 0%. All right, great. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to bring over Amelia. Now, in this case, I don't like the name Amelia perhaps. And so I'm going to make another card. We can keep it in that group. Here we go. So we'll copy that. Let's call this one Nelly. And then I'm going to make up random names so that this all changes really quickly. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to swap this out here. I'm going to lock these for a quick sec. I'm going to move those to the back so they stop annoying me. Okay, now I'm going to come in here and let's swap out to Nelly. I'm going to grab that text. All right. Okay, so I've got this now. I've got Nelly. Now, I want to say that I didn't care for the name Amelia. So I want to do a couple of things. I'm going to move Nelly behind, and I'm going to move it down just a little bit. I want to have a slight interaction of it coming up. I'm going to move that to 0%. And Amelia, we are going to move, actually, let me bring Nelly off. I need to put Nelly over here inside of this group. So Nelly is going to go in the back here, and I'm going to move it down, and I'm going to give it that 0%. All right, so now over here, I'm going to have Nelly in view, and it's at 100%. The difference is that Amelia, we are going to move this off to the left. I'm going to angle this a little bit, and we'll pull it down a little. So something like that. And then I'm going to move these back up top, and we're going to have that X come in and show that we did not care for that name. And then really quickly, we'll come in here at our next screen. We can delete that. We're going to bring this back down. All right, now let's quickly link this up. We've got a couple minutes left. So I'll show you how this works and what we like about these. So I'm going to go in here now. I'm going to switch to prototype mode. And in this, I am going to really easily just bring this right over. And I'm going to change the trigger from tap to drag. And really simple. And all it's going to do is create an auto animation of what that drag looks like. And we're good to go. We can do an ease in, ease out if we like. I'm going to leave this alone at the moment. Then I'm going to come over here, and this screen, I just want to have a quick interaction with that. So what I want to do here, actually, let's do this. We've got our easing. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to say, hey, after a certain amount of time, let's just remove that heart. So now I'm going to come in and say time. We can have that interact pretty much right away. So I'm going to leave the delay off. If we wanted to, we can make it a little longer, say like 0.2. And then we can have this ease out. 0.6 is fine. We'll do ease in and out, and that's going to make that slowly go away on the back end. Next, I want to be able to drag Amelia off of the screen. So I'm going to grab Amelia's card here. I'm going to go back to drag, auto animate, keep that nice and smooth, and that'll just go off of the screen. And then one more time here, we're going to do a time trigger. Why did that? Oh, it's because I need to be on the screen itself. So the whole artboard, we're going to do time. We'll give it just a very minor delay, a little duration, and we will ease that in and out. Okay, so let's check it. This should work. It's always that that live factor of whether or not it's happening. And yes, if you guys do not stay around for the next stream with Andrew, you guys are in trouble. And also, Andrew, tonight, Fall Guys, we're getting the crown. If anyone wants to join us, hit us up. We're gonna have some fun. All right, so let's move into our prototype mode and let's take a look at how this works. So really quickly, I like the name Tracy, so I'm gonna be able to, actually, why is that not working? See, it's that live factor. Tracy card, drag, auto animate. That should work. Why is that not working? Drag, auto animate. Let's keep going and let me see if I can get that on the fly. It's there. Tracy card, Tracy card. All right, if it's not, I have a backup file of this, but let's try this. All right, so we've got that. That goes away. All right, so it's working here. I must have done something off. And now I don't like the name Amelia, so I'm gonna swipe off. And so what's gonna happen there is it's gonna immediately start showing me that X. I don't like that. And then we're gonna transition out and it's gonna show me my next name. So let's see if we can't figure out why This one is being finicky with that drag. I'm wondering is there something different in this one? It should be the same. Group 50, 65. I will have to tinker around with that and see why that's not working. Interesting. But let's show once more this part since this aspect is working fine. But what you're going to do is come in here, you're going to grab your item, going to drag it side to side. And so I want you guys to come up with some kind of prototype where you're utilizing that. Oftentimes we'll just refer to this as a Tinder style swipe left, swipe right type card, and come in here and see what that looks like. What happens when you don't like something? And I know I applied this to baby names, but apply this to whatever it is that you're excited about, you're passionate about. Maybe it's picking out skins or whatnot for a character. Maybe it's picking out food, but there's a lot of stuff to do with this. All right, I'm going to wrap it up as we are running out of time, but I'm excited to review the streams tonight. Make sure to follow me over on Behance. Hope everyone has a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.